Pretty much what we'll do is we'll ask you the questions that you had on the survey. And we try to pretty much stay on track, but we do go off in tangents, either based on your answers or based on thoughts that come to our head and such like that. So we kind of do jump around a little bit. We do about an hour interview.
Okay.
All right. So looking here at your question, what experiences as a candidate for city council align you with the mission of Stand for Children? What are your experiences that align you with our mission?
Well, as you indicated, you're a grassroots organization. Working within the community, that's a grassroots effort. You're getting people to get on board to stand for issues in the community that need someone to voice that. For example, we are proponents for making changes within our community. Someone wants to put up a cell phone tower in our neighborhood. We're not wanting that. So what do? We bring people together to the table with the developers and say, this is what we don't want. How can we work through this problem? In education, we have taken the opportunity to go into the school systems. Our Children, Our Future program, we've taken that on to actually volunteer within the school system. Dunbar is one of them. Also, over the last couple years, we've had the opportunity to raise clothing and shoes and whatever is needed for the kids within the school. So those experiences within the community give me the opportunity to align myself with what Stand for Children stand for.
And when you say we, are you referring to an organization that you're with or that you formed?
With an organization that I'm with, the Orange Mound Civic Organization. Okay. And also with being on the board of directors of the Cooper Young Farmers Market, we're trying to bring in fresh fruits and vegetables into the community as well. So that's an effort. You're trying to educate people on nutritional values as well.
Does the Cooper Young Farmers Market, do they take food stamps? I think
Yes, they do.
For all the vendors?
Not all the vendors, because there's a process for that. So right now we're doing the double your money type of thing with EBT cards.
Okay. Yep.
And all vendors aren't SNAP vendor, how should I say, not qualified to do that. So not all vendors, but we do honor EBT.
Right. So what is your position at the Orange Mound Civic Center?
I'm the treasurer.
Treasurer, okay. And are you on the board?
I'm on the board, yes.
Okay. But and career-wise, you're a realtor?
No, career-wise, I work at the University of Memphis as the assistant director of the Earthquake Center. So,
oh, really?
Yes. So by trade, I'm an accountant.
Gotcha.
So
okay. kind of a diverse.
I have a diverse background.
I love it.
Okay. And having a diverse background gives you an opportunity to have a choice as to what you can do and maneuver and learn a lot. So I've taken those opportunities to learn a lot with the varied backgrounds that I have committed my education to.
Right. So as you're treasurer on the Orange Mound Civic Center, but I take it that you're pretty much involved in hands-on.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
All right. Let's talk about public education here in Memphis. Can you tell us, what do you think are the three most important issues facing public education in the city of Memphis right now?
It seems to be funding is number one. Making sure that you have adequate funding for our children within the public school system. Teachers, making sure are we protecting our teachers. Making sure we're getting qualified teachers within the school system. That's most important. And number three is parent involvement. It probably should have been number one, because without parents being involved in the children's lives, it's very difficult for children in school. They have so many problems that are outside of the school system itself. And teachers have to be so many things besides just a teacher. So when you have to get qualified people that can encompass not just getting an education and educating children, but having a compassion about a child, wanting to see them do better, wanting them to go beyond that extra mile and do more than what they used to do. So those are the three issues that I think are extremely important in public education here in Memphis.
And Of those three issues, have you been doing anything in your career, in your volunteer work to address those three issues?
Yes, I have. One issue in particular, we went before the school board system when there was an opportunity for land acquisition behind the Melrose High School. Funding, of course, came up as an issue, so we did all we could to figure out what other funding sources were available for those kids, because we don't have a junior high school in Orange Mound. You know, our children are being bused out of the neighborhood or taken elsewhere so that they can get that junior high piece. So when you look at Melrose enrollment probably is down, because when you take the children out of the neighborhood, they'll want to continue to stay where they are. So if they're going to Wooddale or if they're going to White Station, they'll just continue their education and finish it out at White Station. So the opportunity...
Melrose High School
is down, because if you got 9 through 12, well, where are they going to go from 7 and 8?
Right.
So hopefully that will change, but that's an issue that plagues our neighborhood.
Right.
Because it has not been, I won't say it hasn't been looked at, but we have 2 elementary schools, Dunbar Elementary and Hanley Elementary, and 1 high school, all in the same vicinity. So that's an opportunity that we could look at in changing that.
And as a city council member, how do you feel like you could begin to address, one, the kind of ongoing funding crisis? You talked about funding being a priority, but then also looking at kind of ways to improve teacher quality from the role as a city council member, and also looking at parental involvement like you spoke to. What are some ways you think you could creatively do that? Because there's kind of a limited role of the city council person historically in education. How would you be more proactive in those issues?
Well, being from the community, working within the community, I'll take what I do in the community and try, hopefully within the city council, work with different programs, become more creative, communicate more with the MEA, communicate more with the local schools that are within your district to find out exactly what are your problems and what do we need to do to help you address those problems. And those are creative solutions. And as a council member, you can bring those back to your council peers and say, look, this is what's going on in our neighborhood, in our community, what's going on in your district, and let's communicate across the board and find ways that will work with our area that could possibly work across the districts. So I think communication in this is the most important piece when you talk about addressing all these various issues.
Do you think there has been communication
I think it has been.
In the past, currently, or?
I think it has been, but I think it's more needed, because children are the future. They really are. You know, we say this all the time, but we have to really execute on that. Because if someone had not taken that opportunity with me, I wouldn't be able to sit before you today. So we have to realize that. We have to value that. And I think the more we have people that are involved with the educational system and have that compassion for it, are going to be able to get ideas and solutions across the table that may or may not have been brought up before.
So what would be your role coming onto the council in terms of the ongoing funding issues between the city schools and
the $57 million that is owed, right, and then the counterclaim that's been filed? What's your position on moving forward with that, or what would you?
Well, unfortunately, I believe we need to pay it. We do need to pay the school system. The first thing I would look at, being an accountant, the first thing you look at your records, you look at your books, you see what's going on. How do we get to where we are? Where are we right now, and what do you need to look forward? Those are the first things that you have to do, is lay it out. And then after that, then you take what is needed from here on. That comes from communications with the city schools and our council, so that we'll know exactly what we need to do and fund. Then we need to find if there are creative ways to make sure that there's never a funding shortage. We always have funds available for the educational system, and we're not dipping into other areas to fund this education. We know we have this every year. This is nothing new. We have to find ways to fund our education, and I think we can creatively find ways and accounting methods to accommodate those needs for our children.
Would you be in favor of dismissing the counterclaim that's been filed by the city, and just proceed with having the city pay the $57 million and end all litigation and putting this behind?
If I find that it shows that we can do that, yes, I would. You know, that's a decision that has to be made financially when you have to look at all records and what